I want to tell you a story about how frequencies have completely changed my life. Before I get started, my name is Bana, and I've been a lifelong musician and sound healer. And about 6 months ago, I had an epiphany to create frequencies based on the golden ratio, and I started using them privately in my own practice, and my life began to shift. And then when I shared them publicly, everything changed. 6 months ago, I was broke, living at home, single, and also had this big growth thing on my face. And despite all that, I was still very happy, and I had a very strong meditation practice and felt very, at least like spiritually in touch, but my physical world seemed to be in great lack. And I was calling upon the universe to show me the pathway to abundance and goodness in a way that I could not only just receive and get, but to share. And that epiphany came through the idea of these frequencies based on the golden ratio. And the golden ratio being this formula, this math behind how nature creates and how a lot of the great artists have created their art, and anyone who does photography and composition talks about the golden ratio and really making things perfect. I saw that on YouTube there was a few people doing something like this, and I listened to what they had, and I didn't really think that they were doing it in a way that made sense, and at least to me, I could be wrong, honored the frequency. I decided to make my own set, and for 6 months I had it in my computer program. I never even bounced the files out of there to share with myself or take anywhere else. I would just play it like an unfinished song, and I would meditate to it. And at first I found my meditation practices would just go so much deeper, and my ability into which to tap into higher energies, or like you would say higher states of consciousness, just started to happen much faster. And another thing I noticed is that as someone who's very sensitive and spends a lot of time in places like Sedona or these sacred sites that have very high energy, when I would go into the cities, it would be very difficult for me and very dense. And I was able to use these frequencies and like listen on headphones, and it felt like taking a little slice of these high energy places, these high frequency places, into dense environments. It's almost like a little slice of pure, a little cocoon of pure alignment. I don't know why I said that with an accent, but alignment and coherence I could take anywhere I wanted. And so this gave me more confidence to go and really follow my dreams and go back to the cities. And so when I finally decided to share this online, they went like crazy, mega viral, and got over 100 million views. And all my social media blew up. And right at that time too, I got together with my now current partner. Everything just kind of shifted within like a 1 month period, which is like from nothing to like thriving business. Like social media totally blew up with the love of my life. And just super happy together. And even probably the craziest thing is like I had this large growth on my face, and through listening to the frequencies and also meditating and energy work, I was able to basically remove it energetically, and then it just kind of over 2 weeks like fell off piece by piece, which is, I believe in some crazy things, and that was like even a miracle for me. So now I've been, sharing these online, and there are thousands of people that have listened to them, and thousands of people who have purchased these and are healing with them, and just the messages I get from people are incredible. And especially the people that have been doing as I have, doing something similar that I have, and spending a lot of time with them, and just how they have this huge positive impact. And it's really led me to believe and know truly that like this idea this idea of this type of sound healing is both very simple, but it makes a lot of sense, because everything is frequency, everything is energy, and everything is a projection of thought. When we focus on something, we become more of it. And so to basically have a blueprint for perfection, a blueprint for complete alignment that goes beyond a singular concept or thought or affirmation or any other thing. This is basically like, it would be like the foundation and baseline of technology to place your attention upon, and then make any and all other sort of practices you do easier. So if you're into affirmations or manifestation or journaling or like any conscious practices or healing modalities or Reiki or whatever, this is basically like a fundamental blueprint that allows you to resonate clearer as you move into these things. And then just, the things I think most people care about, like manifestation. Like if you're going to imagine something to be, well, if you're completely distraught about it, or you feel any resistance about it, or you don't believe it's possible or anything like that, you can imagine it and wish for it all you want. And that was like how I was for years. But if you're able to listen to something just simply and get the idea of wanting anything out of the equation and just listen to these frequencies as a blueprint, then you become yourself the resonating chamber, the resonating vessel of pure and complete alignment. And then when you introduce thought to that, like, oh, I'm imagining myself, in this loving relationship, or like healthier or happier or more abundant, or getting this job I want, or or not in pain anymore, or whatever it is, the likelihood that it comes to be is infinitely higher, because you're not fighting it anymore. Good is always trying to make its way to us. If good is always trying to make its way to us, then all we need to do is learn and see the places where we're blocking it, and having a template of purity is really a fast track to do that. And I find, like, in rare cases, like, this can cause, like, it will like purge. So your stuff that it's blocking will purge and leave your body, and then you're clear, and then you have the space to receive the things that you really want. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm here staying at this amazing house, and it's a symbol and a token of abundance and what is possible through sound, through intention. Right now I'm on tour with my partner, and we've been going all around the country leading these sing-along events, which are my passion as well. And it's been incredible. And the community keeps growing. There's like, it might be 4,300, 400, 500 people. It's like growing by at least 100 people every single day, which is crazy. And I get to see all these, shares and testimonials of how these have helped other people. So if you take anything away from this, I just want to say, like, manifesting your dreams is possible, and also just being happy is possible, and life can be good, and it can always get better and better. And one thing I'm reminded too is that, like, we don't own any of this stuff. I was speaking to some of my friends earlier today, which is that 6 months ago I had nothing, and I remind myself today that I still have nothing, and that I don't own anything, and that I'm just thankful to be able to pass through these experiences. And I'm thankful to have a tool that just makes life easier and more magical, and just things are just more fluid, and I just don't have to fight so hard anymore. And gosh, I just really want that for you too. So if you do want the full version for yourself, just comment golden, and I truly hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.